What's up, everybody? We'd like to welcome you to Crown Conversations, The Link Up. I'm AJ.
I'm Jenna.
I'm Keila.
I'm Malcolm.
So pretty much, if you guys know me and Jenna already, we have Crown Conversations, the podcast. So we thought it would be a good idea to give you guys like an uncut, unfiltered version of Crown Conversations, the podcast. Talk about topics that we've previously discussed or new topics that, need to be expounded upon. So we decided, to add Keila.
What's up, y'all?
While she pouring her Hennessy, we got Malk over here.
What's up?
We added them. So this is the new dream team. This is the Fantastic Four, the 4 for 4.
4 for 4.
4 for 4.
I'm talking about 4 for 4.
So as you can see, we have our FAMU gear on because we're all FAMU alum.
Ow.
I'm in this oversized hoodie.
Y'all know what season it is. It's homecoming season. So we thought the first episode with all 4 of us together should be, of course, dedicated to our alma mater, FAMU. Homecoming is coming up. Homecoming is coming up this week. So we're gonna talk about why we chose FAMU, of course, the importance of HBCUs and homecomings, and then homecoming rules.
We need some homecoming
So
rules.
if you have had the opportunity to listen to our first episode, we're pretty much expounding on that episode.
Exactly.
That was a good episode. That was a great opening episode.
Thank you.
If y'all ain't checked out Crown Conversations, the podcast, that's a great opening episode because it really lays the foundation for all of us and how we all linked up.
And who we are. So, everybody just go around, start with you, Malcolm. Like, what made you choose FAM?
Well, for one, growing up, I really like FSU, but like when I got into my senior year, I had a bunch of cousins that went to FAM, and they would come home and like tell me different stories and stuff. So like ultimately, I ended up going to FAM from family ties. And I wanted that HBCU experience. I had heard a lot about it, but I didn't know enough, and so I ended up at FAM. Really just because I had family there.
Okay. Keila?
Y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I went to FAM because all my friends was leaving for college and I was at the crib like... I thought I was going to a nice little PWI that didn't work out. And then everybody was like, for real leaving? I'm like, damn, where y'all finna go? And they're like, oh, we going to FAM. And what's crazy is like the year before, so that was my junior year of high school, my homegirl, Caitlin, she's from Detroit too, was like, hey, my brother is up at FAM. My family's going to homecoming to see the band. So I was like, that sounds fun. So I went and I watched the band for the first time. I seen the culture, the vendors. It was my first time ever doing some shit like that. Like, ever seeing, like, so many different type of people who still, like, kind of look like me. But, like, we were so different. The vibe, everything. And I was still underage, so I couldn't go to no parties. Like, we stayed by Pattyfoot. Like, we stayed in her brother's apartment. That was over by Pattyfoot. Yeah, you know what I mean?
The ghetto. Fucking ghetto.
Fast forward, I applied for FAM, and school was finna start in 2 weeks, and I applied for FAM. And we drove up there the week after, like, hey, did y'all let me in? Can I find out? Because, dead ass, Mr. Yulee, y'all remember him?
Mr. Yulee.
He probably the reason I got in, but
Mr. Yulee.
I was in there, and I got my acceptance letter, and I left at the same time all of my friends did, and I was like, well, I was a rattler.
Yo, that's crazy because it seems like, I don't want to say everybody, because a lot of people already know from birth or whenever it's a young kid, they're going to go to FAM because they're, parents or whoever went to FAM.
For sure.
But from y'all two, it's very similar to me. Like, I didn't know I was going to go to FAM. Like, literally, it was last minute, April or May. I graduated in 2008. So, like, April or May of 2008, I had put my money and down payment to go to Rutgers University.
Fancy.
Yeah.
I said the same thing.
Whoa!
Rutgers got money.
Money.
And you not an athlete?
Where
It's in New Jersey.
Okay.
But I went to the campus and toured or whatever. It was dry. Niggas was moping around. I was like, nah, this ain't the vibe. So my mom, you know, talked to my aunt who was a professor in social work at FAM, and she was like, you know, since he wants to do business, it'd be a good idea for him, you know, to apply to FAM. Got in, and long story short, I made it down to FAM. I never toured the campus, never toured the school, anything until it was time for me to move in. Like in August, I moved into Palmetto North. That's the first time I stepped foot on FAM, and it has been a roller coaster ever since.
At least you got into Palmetto North.
I got Palmetto, but the thing about it, what I will say is like, I always say that no matter what, like college debt, whatever, I would do that shit all over again.
All over again.
Well, I chose FAM because FAM had always been on my list of schools to go to, but it was like the last of the Mohican on the list. Like I mean, I'm not saying I had I was ranking it. It was just on the list. So, as I said before, I got into Bethune-Cookman University.
Tragedy.
I got into Bethune-Cookman, and I got into Savannah State, and but I know I didn't.
Where that's at?
Savannah.
You applied to them,
Yeah.
those tier schools.
So first of all, Mr. Rutgers fucking University.
It ain't got nothing to do with Rutgers. I'm
Anyway,
talking about
did I interrupt you doing your?
But HBCU wise, them is trash schools.
Okay, anywho,
Oh my God.
I had applied to. I'm not worried about him. I had applied to. But I knew for a fact I didn't want to go to like Fort Valley or Albany State. So when I got the admissions letters from Bethune, I waited a little minute before I made my decision because I knew I had one more school waiting. It was FAMU, and I have an older brother that went to FAM. So I was trying to avoid going to FAM because I had an older brother that went. So it was like, but then I found out cousins don't win. Then brother don't win, so I might as well just keep it going. So got my got my admissions letter. Turned 18, went to orientation. Actually, I celebrated a birthday at orientation. Well, I didn't really celebrate it, but I turned 18 on the day we was leaving orientation. And I was just like, hell, I'm 18. I'm good to go.
You went to the Edge?
I did.
Because that's exactly where we went.
I went to the Edge. No, matter of fact, it was a crazy story behind that because the girl who was rooming with me at orientation is in the South Palmetto. She was from Tallahassee. So she just knew where to go.
She knew.
So she was like, Granny, I put on some clothes. I'm gonna go to the Edge. I was like, sis, I don't know what that is. But when I pulled up and seen them, that was my first time in Florida. Baby, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I seen gold, dreads, like it was a lot going on.
That's what threw me out too, was the...
I had never been to Florida, like around,
I didn't see what real Florida people look like. I was like,
nevertheless,
it's different down there.
FAMU because I guess it was just the right shit.
It was meant for you to be there.
It was destiny. It was fate.
And the thing about FAM, like, that I don't even understand or get is that how, people always talk about the Howards. People talk about Morehouse, Spelman. It's like FAMU, like, we know that FAMU's the shit and gets the notoriety that it is, like, the notoriety that it should get amongst other FAMUans, but it just seems like out in the world, like, people don't know shit about it.
For sure. And a lot of times people always ask, they be like, why do FAMU students go so hard? But it's literally something that you have to experience yourself. Because it's like, honestly,
that shit weird.
We would not go so hard for FAM if it literally was not the shit. A lot of us are straightforward, blunt people. We ain't gonna sugarcoat anything. Like, if it was not because FAMU was the shit, we wouldn't gloat about it the way we do. We wouldn't boast about it, but it's like, nah, you can't buy it. You can't get the experience just because you went to a homecoming. Like, no, it's the ups, the downs, and everything that, comes along with being FAMU and, the historical aspect of it, that makes us nah, wherever we go, we gonna rep this
I will say that you can put FAMU amongst the
top school
elites for sure.
The HBCU elite.
Because we are the elite. We are the elite. Ain't nobody fucking with us.
Okay, you really felt that.
No, ain't nobody fucking with us. Ain't nobody fucking with us. And let me tell you why. I tell people this all the time that FAMU's not. nobody is fucking with FAMU, and I'm not just saying it because that's where I went. A lot of people say they HBCU or school with
Like,
this shit.
you just repping because that's where you
went.
Yeah.
On paper, ain't nobody fucking with us. Nobody is doing what we do. Nobody is doing what we do. Like you said, Savannah State, Bethune-Cookman College, they don't have a Will Packer. They don't have one. They don't have a Nicanoni Rose. They don't have a Common. They don't have none of that. They don't produce what we produce. All that shit is on paper, on black and white. And me, when people get to know me, I operate off of fact. Put me up against any school, put family up against any school, and
let me know
it
what
doesn't
y'all
compare.
done after graduation.
It don't compare.
Let me know how y'all school represented after graduation, post graduation.
The program
that is
come
true.
on.
That is true. And then we talk about like our pharmacy program, our business program.
I mean, I just think people just don't want to admit it. You know how people like try to fight you so bad because they trying to prove a point.
And that's
don't
cool.
want to admit it.
Yeah.
Just admit it.
But the thing about it is, every time, anything else, people want to go based upon the fact, the numbers, the black and white.
Until it comes to fam.
Until it comes to fam. Pull up the numbers, pull up the books, Google, since everybody like to Google and shit, Google the shit,
Google
and let me know what you come up with.
I think we just ranked top 7, like we're on the number.
We're number 7, and we're number 2 public, but number 7 overall with private and public.
Okay,
but that's still good.
You know how many colleges are in this nation? That's loud.
HBCU is just overall.
No, HBCUs.
Yeah, just among
overall.
HBCUs.
Yeah, this is my HBCUs. We're number 7.
But for me, it's overall. Like, even I would put FAMU up against a PWI any day.
Any day.
Experience-wise, like, I feel like my experience, the things that I've learned at FAMU,
I mean,
I wouldn't
I don't care about you.
and I just wouldn't take, like, you could go to a fancy schmancy school, a PWI, whatever school, but you're not going to learn the vibe outside. Like, FAMU taught me how to operate in any setting. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
I agree with that. I agree with
that.
You make something out of nothing.
Baby, I had a bunch of down the stretch of them double cheeseburger from McDonald's for you.
I know how to make a dollar stretch. I got a gift of gas.
I done made them coals on the back of the Popeyes with
finesse.
seaweed. You know the coals.
And for real, and it's so crazy because going to fam, it really teaches you the cadence and the art of networking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't go with I highly doubt you can go to any other school, and I mean, and especially in the HBCU world, where networking is something that we pride ourselves on, and it's almost like that's why moving to Atlanta just happened to just seem to be the move that was it, because here they pride themselves on networking, but for us at fam, it's once we leave college, we still are a family after the fact. And I mean, I have friends and family that have went to other institutions, PWIs and HBCUs, and after graduation, there's no more contact with people you went to. The people I see on a daily basis, or if anything going wrong and I need to call somebody, it's going to be somebody I met at fam, because that's my new family. It's not about the blood. Because once you are inducted in the fam, it's okay, you're a rattler, and especially once you graduate, it's almost like you're a Crip or you're a Blood. I don't care where you at. Hey, I throw my side up just like y'all throw y'all's up. Hey, and I'm in there you went to fam.
It's funny because the network when you get outside of off of campus, I can go to Publix with my shirt on and get stopped.
Hey, Rattler.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh hey Rattler, oh hey. I'm like
all day long.
I literally I was at work and somebody was just like, I heard you went to FAMU. She ain't even, me and her ain't never had no type of nothing. Oh yeah, I heard you went to FAMU. I said, oh, you Rattler? Yeah, girl.
Okay, now you good. Yo, I was in Oregon. I was in Oregon. Not to cut you off, but I was literally in Oregon, in Portland, on Facebook. What's good to eat in Portland? Where are the black people in Portland? Oh, it's some rattlers out there. Here it tags 4 people. I'm like, oh, I know them. I didn't know you was in Portland. Got a whole
lot of people
list.
moving out there because the job market is.
And got a whole list of things to do. Where we at? Where the other rattlers at? There's rattlers in Seattle. How long you staying? Do you need anything? Here, I'm gonna send you an Uber. Sending me Uber is expensive out there in Portland. Like, they looked out, sent me Ubers. Oh, here, you know, this somebody number if you want to get into this club. I'm like, yo, like, I literally just posted on Facebook, found some rattlers. And they was like, call your rattler family. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in Oregon.
Yeah.
That'd be so love, and it ain't nothing out. Not none of our kind out there.
And it's like how you guys were talking about, like the networking and stuff like that. It's literally the intangibles that you learn. Like one of the first things I learned when I was at FAM is, you know, you always hear this thing, it's not what you know, but who you know. They remixed that at FAM. They were like, it's not what you know, it's not who you know, but who knows you.
Who knows you?
Yeah.
That's what I learned that at FAM.
Yeah, like that is like,
you?
I can know somebody all day long, but if they ain't recognize me or fucking with me, like, that don't mean
That
shit.
don't mean nothing. Yeah, facts.
So like that's one of the big takeaways.
I feel like just closed mouths don't get fed at FAM. Like you have to look. Like somebody told me one time, like y'all know, like during orientation week they would have what's the shit in the Al Lawson.
Oh, the one-stop shop.
Yeah, somebody told me.
You better go ahead and get in there.
I kid you not. Somebody told me you gotta walk with purpose at FAM. And I was just like, nah, this nigga bullshit. Man, I went to One Stop Shop, walked with a purpose. Like I got in front of everybody. I was just like, and I just knew somebody behind me was gonna be like, hey man, she jumping the line. I was like, cause I was ready. Like I was on combat mode. Like, nah, nigga, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. I skipped that line. I went straight to my financial aid lady. And she was like, Jenna, girl, what you doing? I said, girl, this pretend. I said, girl, this come on, like we got shit to do.
Right, all right.
It's the art of finesse.
And I got up out that chair and I turned and everybody was looking at me with a stank face like, who the fuck is this girl? Mind you, I'm not an SGA. I'm not in no sorority. I'm just a regular average girl that woke up late for class.
I tell you what, I'm about to get it done though.
They was upset with me that day, but oh well.
It's the art of finesse.
But it's for real. It's literally walking with a purpose. Cause I did that at homecoming.
Yeah.
A
Man,
lot of times, every time.
Shit, I'm doing it this time.
Listen, and I tell people, listen, all you gotta do is walk like you belong there. Nobody gonna question you. It's when you get to looking like a duck and you stand there like, oh, what I'm doing. You're not gonna get your classes. You're gonna be waiting 6 extra days. You ain't getting your financial aid on time. You waiting outside the club waiting for somebody to pull you in. You got to walk like with a purpose.
I used to like literally, you know when you got your financial aid, you get up and walk out of class. No, that was me. I was the girl that did that.
First of all, I
had told her.
What?
Oh, yeah, you do go to FAMU, but you just know you gonna be on the move.
Listen, I got that little email because I had like a brick phone, so I wasn't getting no deposit text message. I was like, damn, I gotta go to the bank. I went to Forever 21.
Yeah.
I went to Forever 21. I don't care. I was a freshman. I was 18. I ain't never seen more than 3 digits in my account.
Alright, for real.
Whoa! I was like,
woo! No,
we racks up, huh?
Come on.
We racks up.
That's how I was like. That first financial aid check wasn't much for me because my freshman year I was out of state.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like literally like $780, but it was my $780 fucking. Well, it wasn't really mine.
I was like,
supposed to pay that back, but in my mind,
being a nigga,
it's my $780 goddamn dollars.
You earned it.
So I sure did. We went straight to that. I just moved. I went to the club that night.
Drinks on me, even though I can't.
You know, at FAMU, that's the cheapest fun you can have. FAMU was like the cheapest fun. Like, now that I look back on it, like, that was like, you can do a lot of shit.
Not even look, I'm talking about right goddamn now. When I go down to Tallahassee,
it's
a cheap good time.
It's a cheap thrill.
Yeah, it is. It's
a cheap good ass time. Let me tell you something.
Especially once you like build rapport with different like people that once you gain your network there, it's like you can live like a king or a queen in Tallahassee, and I see why so many people actually have
not left yet.
End up staying there.
Yes.
Because it's like in life, ultimately, like it's to be to a place where like you can find peace and you build a network somewhere where you're good. Mm-hmm. And once you become good in Tallahassee, it's like, what am I looking for again? Like this is what I've been reaching for. Like to ultimately to be able to eat for free, go to the gym for free, go to the club for free. It's like everything is just so much better in Tallahassee, and I've always understood that because like I'm a big advocate of Tallahassee. I love Tallahassee.
No, I do too. Like I was there for 6 years, and people like, Jenna, you're a local. I don't give a fuck what you say. I I made the best of a situation.
You know what's
and you can kiss my ass about it.
Like, and it's so crazy because like my mom and my dad, they used to tell my brother, they're like, Malcolm loved Tallahassee so much, like, because he actually went there and made the most out of it. Like, I went to Tallahassee
I did too.
and made the most and made the best
you
out of it. Like,
you don't make the
good
most
and
of
bad
that
times,
city.
I'm like, I had a
You
great
have to,
time.
that's why
in
when people
Tallahassee.
like be in college and say, oh, I didn't really go out like that. Like, how the hell?
What?
It's Tallahassee. How the hell do you not go out in this damn city? That's why when they had a debate on Twitter, like, oh, y'all, y'all can just leave Tallahassee. Shit, me, top flight done seen me, the moon done seen me. Government Square Mall done seen me. Goddamn Seminole Suites on Jackson Bluff done seen me.
Listen,
right. Michelle done seen me. University Courtyard done seen me.
Y'all
done seen me.
Oh my
God. The security guard at Seminole Green.
With the forfeit land.
Was you there?
Yes, I was there. I was like, bro, listen. Bro, that was absolutely
the best house party, and it still get talked about years later.
So
when the roof, the shit came
it
down. We
came
almost
in
died. So we made the best
Do
of
y'all
that.
have any like? I know this is hella off topic, but kind of on topic. Do y'all have any like influential like professors that y'all will never forget? Like
Dr. Grable, Dr. Betty Grable, School of Journalism and
Oh
Communications.
man.
who is mine? Oh, mine, Dr. Harper. Dr. Bill Harper.
Mine is between Dr. Dawson and it's Dr. Jackson and Dr. Guzman.
Oh, listen. That damn
No,
Guzman.
we're not gonna get on Guzman.
Baby!
We're not gonna get on Guzman.
No, for real. Like I took his 4,000 class.
I wasn't even in his
African
class.
history. It was African history. It was a senior level class.
Yeah.
I was just taking it to get the. I'm thinking I'm taking it to get the hell up out of the school. I went in there. I came out a pro-black. I'm ready to call the next white person a cracker. Like I'm like, this man has really got me on some shit. Like that man gets into your mind because he.
A whole nother spectrum. And it's crazy because, like, I was just talking to somebody at work about that, and they was talking about, like, how's the HBCU experience different? And I was like, I said, and I'm just give you one scenario, like, one aspect that I'm like, just our history aspect. Because I'm like, if you go to a PWI, and even in, like, when you talk about the curriculum of, like, grade school, all the history books and all the history classes are American history. Mm-hmm. And I said, one difference that we had, it was not American history, what we said. It was African American history.
And then it went to African history.
And then it went to African history. And I said, so being at FAM allowed us to learn a lot about ourselves. And I said, because our whole life, we grew up believing that Christopher Columbus was the first to travel the Americas. Going to FAM, we found out, and then we figured out that was
some bullshit.
It was like before 1462. When they came before Columbus. That was the book I had to refresh.
It was. And then Dr. Metzger, like she was like really on it, and it was like, to me, it was like I really thought that it was something special for so many black people to finally learn their history instead of something that happened after their history. And now we're part of anthropology.
I did too.
Yeah, and I thought she was a great professor. I'm like, and I learned a lot being in her class. Although I was studying a lot of documentaries and stuff like outside of that, but I'm like going to HBCU definitely. You learn a lot about yourself and your history, and so like to me it was something that you literally can't pay for that. And when you go into when you decide to go to a PWI, it's like it ain't no hate against you. You know, do you? Well, yeah, that's what you want to. That's what your family can afford, and that's what you want to do. Hey, more power to you. But at the end of the day, it's when I move forward in life. It's like I know more about self than you do, regardless of the curriculum that you studied and I studied. I know more about self, and so I would never take that away.
No, I feel that same way. Like I've never been in a situation, especially like we in Tallahassee for 4 or 5 years, and that's a chunk. Like
that's why I don't understand how people didn't make the most of the situation that they in.
I learned so much about myself spiritually, financially. Like you finally separate yourself from not only like your family, but you separate yourself from your own ego. Like you want through rigorous programs. Like you go through SBI, you go through J School, you go through organizations where you remove your ego from it, and now you're set. Like you broke. I got some crackers and some butter in the fridge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my neighbor got some seasoning and some water.
And your
and
car
some
getting
ice.
towed.
Your car getting towed. You ain't got no car.
Yeah.
You ain't got no gas. Like, but you gotta get to class or you far. Like, you have to be resourceful, and that a lot makes you, for me, remove your ego and be like, hey friend, hey friend, I ain't got this.
We
Like,
used
how
to come
can
together.
we put this together? Like, you know, I would never learn that at a white school.
I mean, I got cool with people that didn't even go to FAM. Like, I got cool with people that were from there.
The locals.
Yeah, and they had, I don't like the people. I don't say locals because you know they get a little sensitive.
I mean, you a low dog.
But
You a low.
Every city has
I got cool with. I learned the bus system because my daddy always like, you know, you just learn your city that you're in because a nigga, somebody can have you somewhere you don't even know where the hell you at, and so I made sure I learned how to catch the bus. I befriended people that were from the city. I remember like my homegirl roommate, she was from Tallahassee. Sis drove a two-door Monte Carlo, the one that looked like it's long. God. But it's like a 2008-9 model, the long one with the two doors. She used to let me drive her car to like, and that's how I learned the city because she trusted me to let her borrow her car. Mind you, it was probably used to go down the street, but still I learned how to navigate it. And yeah, like I literally drove everywhere because I'm not finna be just stuck on this campus.
Right.
And some people like literally did not leave the campus. No.
But you want to know what was crazy is there were people who even like their later years at FAM or even after graduation, it was certain parts of the city or different sides of the city they had never been to. So they go on that side like, oh, I don't know where to go from here, bro. Like, I'm like, how do you all know the city? And it was because they literally never left the south side.
Yeah.
They never left the north side. And I'm like, that's crazy because I knew how to navigate all up and down through Tallahassee.
I knew where the projects was at, because you gotta know where the projects at.
Okay, enough about the project. I want to get to homecoming. I want to get on homecoming.
Well, you can go next week, just next week.
And that's what we're going to get on.
You can get there.
We're going to talk about it.
Oh, we going to be
Let's
there.
talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I want to know about the project.
You got a lot of little animosity in there.
We going to be there.
Y'all want to know about the project. I want to get to homecoming.
Get to it, y'all.
Wrap it up right
You
quick.
get a little Roxy.
Get to it.
Get a little Roxy.
It's so feisty. Y'all feisty.
Get to it.
Y'all feisty. But no, wrap it up. Like, how would you, before we even go into homecoming, like we gotta understand the importance of an HBCU and homecoming to us before we get into like the fun grit of it. Like, why is that shit important to you? Like, why is the HBCU and C? Why is that experience important to us and to other people? Like, I have a 17-year-old brother who's graduating in May. How can I sell that? Like, what's my elevator pitch? To sell, you know what I mean? Like, I see so many people that, like, what is your elevator pitch? Because it's a huge discussion on social media. We get involved every week. Every week I'm fighting with somebody about PWIs and Howard.
I normally always just go with the cultural experience. Of course, you're going to always run with that. And it's just, well, I'm not even going to tell you no lie. I'll literally tell somebody that's close to me, they don't care about you, PWIs. So
you're a number.
Like, it's a fake. You're leaving your own personal family to go build a new one. So that's an adventure within itself.
Yeah.
So that's what I literally say because I'm only basing off my experience because I went to FAM by myself. I didn't have no family members. I didn't have no friends down there. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Right. So that's what I say. If you want to get out, try something new.
Yeah.
So that's my selling point. Try something new.
So my selling point always with as far as HBCUs are concerned is just that go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. That's always my thing. That's always my thing because, and I always also say, after you graduate from an HBCU, you can do what the fuck you want to do. You can go to PWI for grad school if that's what you choose, but you need to go where you're celebrated, not tolerated, especially coming from an area like where I'm from. Like my niece.
Where are you from?
I'm from Delaware.
Come on.
I'm from Delaware, and it's a predominantly white area. Rednecks, Sussex County, Trump County, and my niece is growing up, and I'll be trying to preach to her, it's important for you to try to go to HBCU once you graduate from high school. And she's like, just like everybody else, what's so, whatever important or amazing about HBCU? you have to go to experience it. I can only tell you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But especially coming up and growing up where we're from, you need to be around some black culture and learn about the history and learning that Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. You can't discover no shit where people were already there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you
Right.
need to be amongst people who look like you, who can teach you, who can groom you, and make you a better you. I always say iron sharpens iron. I've never been around no other black person that was like me. I can always learn something from somebody. I've learned stuff from you. Learned stuff from Keila. Learned stuff from Malcolm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's no better feeling or whatever than learning something from someone who looks like you.
I agree.
Boy, I'm telling you, you go to an interview, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
I talk my shit.
That motherfucker. I had to look at him like,
I don't want nobody looking at me like that.
He on the piano.
Get back.
You got the job.
Like, nah, I definitely feel you on that. I feel you on that, bro, for real. So, like, to me, it's like going to the PWI, it's like just staying in the same world that you've already been in, that you've already been manipulated in, that you've already been oppressed in. You're literally staying in the same environment, going to the PWI. And there's no disrespect to them, but it's like, at the end of the day, is if we're going to call a spade, just being a black person in a white man's world. That's what you are. When you're going to class and there's 200 people in there, and then there's two blacks. It's like, are they teaching you in the way that you can learn? Because like, I saw this meme one day where there were like multiple animals, and it was like a elephant, a monkey, a damn dog, like, and ultimately it's like you can, you tell all of those animals to climb the tree, or you teach them to climb the tree. Everybody not equipped the same way, and so because you know what I'm saying. So in a PWI, you're trying to. The way you teach, the way you speak, everything is foreign to me. Even though I'm a black person in America, but it's like at the end of the day, I'm again in your institution. For me, I'm like, you learn so much more when you learn yourself. There's no way you can continue to learn if you don't learn yourself. And going to a PWI and FAMU especially, it's like you have no choice but to learn to love yourself, because there's like, you might hate being black before you come there, but when you come there, it's so much pride, it's so much culture, it's so much history, it's so much greatness going on and excellence going on. You have no choice but to love your kind. And if you don't do anything else in the world, if it's nothing else is important to you, loving your own self and loving your people is important. Even if you don't get educated, but that's part of the process. And so if I don't learn anything else in this world, if I don't gain anything else, I want to learn how to love my own, because for so many centuries, that's something we didn't get an opportunity to do. And when we did, it was something that you would go to jail for, literally loving your own and protecting your own. You would go to jail for or get killed for it. And so at this point, it's like when going to family, something I'm like, that's a situation that can really put me on top of everything, put me in control of my life, but also help me learn a lot about myself. So if I wouldn't choose a HBCU or FAMU for any other reason, it would be to learn to love my own people. Because we all know blacks are taught and conditioned to hate each other and hate ourselves. So if I don't learn that, I want to break that cycle. And going to FAMU, like I can say, like, I love black people. That's why I'm back in Atlanta. Like, that's why I'm in Atlanta now, because I love black people. Yeah, like, I love it.
All right. Taylor? So we can get the homecoming.
Get them homecoming rules.
But no, so my honestly, like, my selling point, just for an adult trying to go back to school, or somebody just going to college, 17, 18 years old, is like, you're never going to get that same experience in the real world. You going to an HBCU, like,
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that homecoming.
Listen,
these two jokers.
You're going.
They're too fucking excited.
But no, for real, like, you're gonna go to an HBCU. Like, I never experienced different type of black people, different types of black people. I'm from Detroit, and then I went to a white high school in Wesley Chapel, Florida. So like, that's cows, like, you know what I mean?
I know where that is.
Exactly. That's Zephyr Hills, Florida. So like, you know, that's redneck. So I'm coming from East Side Detroit, then going down south. to where I'm the only black person in my class. I'm the token
In your
representative.
city.
Yeah, in the city.
Yeah.
I'm the token representative for Black History Month. And then I take my college experience to FAM, where like I learn what a Haitian is, or I learn what a Nigerian and a person from Ghana. Like I know what they look like. I can differentiate. But then also, I'm Black and Puerto Rican, so like I'm okay with saying, okay, I identify as this. Like FAMU or the HBCU experience taught me my identity.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to identify properly. I learned that I can be intersectional.
Mm-hmm.
I can be Black, I can be Latina, I can speak Spanish, I can speak in my dialect. Like I can speak however I want to, because at the end of the day, I'm myself and I know how to identify. And I know how to relate. But then I also know how to network and then go out and be like, yo, like I went to FAM and FAMU taught me this, or I went to this HBCU and they taught me this. There's no other, they're not gonna teach me this at a PWI.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like they're not gonna teach me how to talk to my own folks
That's true.
at a fucking white college. Florida
That's
State
true.
not gonna teach me how to interview in a room full of people who look like me. You feel me?
What you saying?
Why y'all trying to make us
No, I got like what's going
Oh,
on.
we got it.
Okay,
Homecoming.
okay, that's homecoming.
I like
Okay.
you. Don't say it. I know.
I
We
wanna
all
hear
caught it together. Can we cheers?
Yes.
It's homecoming.
It's
All right.
It's homecoming.
It's homecoming.
Let's go. Come on, Jenna.
Come on, Jenna, put that damn glass up.
What bottle is
It's
that?
empty.
So no,
Wait, what?
so what?
It's empty.
Malcolm, what?
Can we bring the other?
Yeah.
Malcolm, what's your number one homecoming rule?
Oh.
Oh man, wow.
Oh,
Number
shit. No.
Let's
Start
go.
with Malcolm.
No, we don't. Jenna, stop.
Wait a minute. No,
Don't
you
do it.
no. This was a y'all sure.
Malcolm, sorry.
Wait, time out. What is homecoming?
Homecoming to me.
Period.
No, just all around.
Period.
No individual.
What is
When everybody
homecoming?
gets together, all the alum. The purpose of homecoming is for.
Yeah, we gotta talk about the purpose.
Yeah,
People
because
thinking we
it's,
crazy.
it's them young niggas that's in school who think that it's for them.
Oh, no, it's
homecoming
for
is
us.
for us.
It's for alumni.
Homecoming
really
is
is,
for
though.
the alum.
Coming home.
Coming home, literally, it's in the name.
We're back.
Homecoming.
Baby.
This how we graduate.
Baby, I'm returning to the
We got our stripes.
We got our stripes. We earned them. So, what's your number one homecoming rule?
Oh
You.
man,
Malcolm.
I'm gonna be real, like straight up. Don't come there, bro. Listen, because bills have to get paid afterwards. Make the responsible decision.
Pay your bills first, guys.
Please, because if
Yeah,
you come there begging, you come there begging. That's all I.
Don't call me talking about your electric bill got to get paid and I saw you tossing back them shots, nigga. Nah.
No,
Nah.
I just see you had a bottle turned
I just
upside
see your
down.
bottle in your hand.
Let me hold $10.
Now, see, I'm going to speak for the people that, they get their shit for free. So, they ain't got to worry about it. But still don't go broke.
Don't go nowhere, bro. But don't go to homecoming, bro.
Don't come to homecoming, bro, because you just never know.
Especially when you out of town, how you gonna get back? I just wanna know how you gonna get back. That's it.
Oh, they going to get that.
Man,
So don't go broke. Okay?
don't go broke.
Okay.
Kayla, what's yours?
I know it's about niggas.
No, it
It is. It's about some nigga.
ain't. It ain't.
Well, what is it?
Well, this one is not. Come to homecoming with an open mind.
Girl, no.
What kind of open mind?
An open mind meaning. Let me
Because I
finish.
feel like yours is about to conflict with mine. But
Let
go ahead.
me finish.
Okay, baby.
Come to homecoming with an open mind. So just go.
What?
She talking about open mind.
Just
I
no.
got open mind now.
My number one homecoming rule is not number one, but one of my rules is don't come to me trying to reconcile some shit.
Oh no, that
Not
wasn't
during
right.
homecoming.
Ain't no that shit.
It's not. It's not the time.
Can I piggyback?
Wait.
Let me come back to me.
Wait. No. Let me finish. It's not the time.
Come back to me.
It's not the time nor the place. I'm gonna be on my drink.
Come back to me.
I'm gonna be on my drink.
Come back to me.
And I don't want nobody talking about, oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Man, fuck all that shit.
My open
not sorry.
My open mind is your slide. It's not your slide in your mind might not be your slide when you get there.
What?
That's my open mind.
Okay,
That's
That's
real,
my
man.
schedule open mind.
Okay.
Like, I'm not
Got it.
planning on running
We
into
here.
the one that got away.
We here.
In my head right now, I'm like, oh, I might run into the one
Yeah.
that got away. We gonna have our little rendezvous, and then I meet his friend or his line brother. But you
Wait,
know,
let's say it louder. His friend was who?
his friend or his line brother.
Hey,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Which organization?
I ain't mad
Which
at you.
organization?
Okay,
that's all.
Whoa, shit! I wanna know. I wanna know.
Point made. We got your point. Point made. Come with open mind.
You
'cause
come
might
with
end
open
up-
mind.
Which
Yeah.
organization?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Antonio, it don't matter. Boy.
It do matter.
Go back to your rule of reconcile.
No, because no, it do matter.
You know
They
what?
do matter.
I think my
You
number
phone
one.
on iota? Oh, okay, that's why I say it matter.
we got the little
Knock it the fuck off.
I've never had sex with
I think my rule. I never actually thought about a rule for homecoming. I think my rule is don't ruin the fun for somebody else.
Big A. Ooh.
Expound on what I
Please
text you about. Expound on what I text you about. Remember about I know, but about the specific party. Do you think it should be affiliated? Blah blah blah.
I don't remember that conversation.
Oh,
Like okay, so
we need some more liquor.
what I mean by like don't ruin the fun for somebody else. One, don't bring your nasty ass opinion about the name of a party. Just go to the goddamn party. If you don't want to go to the party, stay your ass at home. Because if you came with a group of people, you can't like oh well, I don't want to go here because I don't want to go here. Expect to see some motherfuckers you don't like.
All bad.
Expect to see an ex. Expect to see a bitch you want that wanted to fight you.
Woo!
And please expect to understand that don't get liquor courage. That's another homecoming rule.
If you cannot
If you
fight,
get
don't
liquor
start no
courage
fight.
and you start doing stupid shit, you gonna get embarrassed. So,
Don't do stupid shit because me and Malcolm, they're already established. We tossing niggas in the pool every recess.
so my thing is, if you
All bad.
if you
All
and
rip.
I can only speak as a female because I understand like homecoming is a big group of female. We travel.
Right.
We travel in past
Right.
to homecoming because
It's a bunch of y'all.
Right.
Gang.
That's our girls trip. So I'm going with my homegirls, but I'm not gonna sit up here and ruin the fun. I'm not gonna ruin the fun for girl A because I just like let's all agree. Just make sure you agree on the shit that you have planned. Like I know I'm going Fridays. I know I'm going Saturday. Like we have this established. The only thing that can fuck us up now at this point is if somebody gets shot on Hope Street. Like I don't understand.
Are we still on Holden Street as alum?
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
fuck yeah. That's where my fucking business is at.
That's where you get everything. Weed, drugs, liquor. I don't understand.
Alright, shot everything.
The fuck you
Baby,
talking about?
everything is on that back street. That's why you walk
All
around.
I just want to make sure
Alright.
everything is recording.
That's why you walk around.
That's why you walk around.
I'm so ready.
That's like my number one rule. Like, just don't ruin the fun for somebody else. Like, if you see somebody else.
Nah,
doing
for real
shit,
though,
just
because homecoming
ride.
really is about fun, and at the end of the day, it's like you coming with that stupid shit. We not on that.
What stupid shit?
Don't come with no stupid shit.
No.
Hey, look, if a person ain't yours,
It
don't
ain't.
worry about it. It's straight up. I'm gonna be real with you. Even if you got a boyfriend or girlfriend, let your boyfriend or girlfriend cheat in peace.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Malcolm.
Wait a minute.
Listen.
I told y'all he was gonna start that shit. I told y'all Malcolm was gonna start that silly shit. And no, you cannot let your boyfriend or girlfriend cheat in peace.
Listen,
thing is-
they were gonna do it anyway. You need to let them do what they do in peace. Because listen, if you out there doing you, my thing is you shouldn't have brought them to homecoming if you was gonna be worried about
Don't
what
bring
they doing.
sand to the beach.
Don't bring sand to the
Don't bring
beach.
sand to
And
the
at the end of the day, like I said on Twitter, I don't need no man confronting me man to man.
About
It's
what?
not
Some pussy?
about your girlfriend. I'm single. I do what I want to do. So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is don't confront me about your old lady.
Y'all, I just want everybody to understand. Don't confront Malcolm, please.
Please don't.
I can't say why. Don't confront this man.
Like Soldier would say.
I can say why.
Honey goons.
I can say why.
Honey,
Because
shoot.
he does not have all his screws tied in right.
No.
None of us do.
Malcolm got all his.
I do.
I got it.
I'm gonna slide out of this group. I feel like I'm
The most logical.
not the logical, but I'm not like.
You be ready to jump on somebody Now when I actually look at the group, boy, ain't nobody really got them all.
I know I ain't got them all.
Okay, but like when it and then another thing I think I want to say is like I don't know, I forgot my train of thought, y'all.
Wow. Okay, so
if your friends got a section and you ain't in it, they're not your friends.
Oh.
wait, they don't even. If my friend,
If your friends,
if my
this
friends,
is a word. This is a word that we are learning this quarter.
quarter loosely, your
If
friends.
your friends have a section and you are not in it,
I'm airing that bitch out.
no, you're not their friend. They're not your friend. You can air it out.
I
but
can air it out.
You were not
You
considered in
enemies
the
are.
group chat.
I'm walking.
You
I'm
were in the
walking.
group chat with the cash app request for the section.
Well,
I'm saying.
well, that's true. Like,
So
if
don't
you
be
see-
walking
if you see that
around
your- if you
acting
see that your-
funny.
If you see that your friends are like in the same thing you ask you, they just want you to be there with them.
Alright.
All right, now.
But I'm still step my bitch.
I'm a step. But nah. So let's give up.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Let's get the people before we conclude. Let's get the people one last rule.
Ooh.
One last rule.
No,
We
I said
need
we
a
need
couple
We
more
need-
rules.
We done
Okay,
had
wait.
4 rules.
Old flame or
And new flame, that was the
flame or new
question.
flame. So
Okay.
are you sliding when you get to homecoming? Granted, you're single or whatever you're doing. When you get to homecoming, are you sliding on? Are you open-minded to slide on some? You get what I mean.
Okay,
You get to
as
homecoming.
a single woman. Okay,
Are you reheating McDonald's or you sliding on somebody that you meet at Carpe or are you at
That
the fly?
reheated Chipotle don't sound bad, but you
Listen,
know,
I
I'm
might
always
just
want to get some
start taking
Papados.
I might. You know what? I probably might reheat.
I think.
But I ain't gonna like I said.
No, I take that back because homecoming. This is me speaking as a single woman. Homecoming comes like it brings out that damn I should have fucked him a long. Excuse my language, but it brings out that damn I should have fucked him a long time ago when I had a chance. So boom, I got a chance. So I'm liable to walk up to you and be like,
What's up?
"What you doing after this?"
Take your
Now,
chance with me.
I'm
Take your chance with me.
Hey.
I'm not a bad
Hey.
kid.
And depending on that
So,
Hey.
Jenna,
We gotta go.
that's your line. What's your line that you whispering in somebody's ear to slide?
answer, as
What's
a
your
single
slide
woman,
line?
this is me as a single
What's your
woman.
slide line?
I-
Okay, I get you. What's your slide line?
What you doing after this? It can't get no better than that.
Mine, where you finna go?
No, because I don't want to know where you finna go. I literally want to.
But your answer, if I'm asking, is finna be wherever you going.
My thing is,
That's
Where
right.
you finna go?
see, I ain't even asking what. I don't care about none of
Like, what's
that.
your
Because people
line?
gotta understand. People gotta understand.
When are
now.
we linking?
Okay, but people gotta understand.
Cause for real, I'm the type that straight up. Hey, when we
Straight
fucking?
up.
But see, the thing
When we
about-
fucking?
But see, don't say no when we fucking to me.
Cause
And
I'm
I
You know
know
what?
it.
Not
Don't say that
if I
to
come
me.
up to you and put that tongue on that neck, you
Don't
know,
say
and you
it
done
to
had
me.
all the Hennessy, you know what time it is.
Malcolm.
You know, we both been drinking Hennessy all day. I come and put that tongue on.
Jesus.
Man.
Wait a minute. Wait.
I come and put that tongue on your neck. See, y'all got it wrong. I come and put that tongue on your neck, then ask you
So
the
bad,
question.
hold on. Wait. You mean to tell me that when you get to these parties at homecoming, you spotting somebody across the room that you
They know what time
and
it
you
is.
go lick their neck and
I'm good for one thing.
and one thing on.
One thing only.
What is it?
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
God damn it. And that's it.
Cheers.
That's it.
Somebody say
Cheers. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
What's your pickup line? Yeah. What's your pickup line?
What's your line that
He
you
got it wrong, man. What's your pickup line?
Right.
Because he got it.
I don't got
No, you
none.
a damn lie. You gonna sit in front of these folks camera and lie
on
like
the
that.
camera? This
I
recording.
don't want to
What's
participate
your
in this shit no
line?
more. Because if Antonio ain't coming real, then I don't want to play this game no more.
I don't have a line.
You a fucking lie.
So is it circumstantial?
I don't need a
So
line.
you get bossed from, oh shit. Hey,
Ooh.
Malcolm looking next. Antonio don't need
Oh,
no
no,
line.
Antonio.
Oh,
So
yeah.
niggas, so you just like,
So somebody walk up and be like,
what's up?
"What's up?" You know, you do the hug.
And all I do is this. No, give
Hand me that phone.
Give me your phone.
What?
You know what time? Straight up. We ain't even doing all this extra. We really ain't gotta talk.
Single me is
I have
reckless.
never been to a
Single me is
homecoming where
reckless.
girls didn't hand their phone.
I don't have my phone over.
No, that's what I brought for one. During homecoming, I'm not going up to what's
Well,
your
I be scared
you
y'all
know,
niggas
Nah.
steal my
no,
shit.
you gon' no.
Now I'm gonna tell you this.
I don't have.
I want y'all to listen and understand, but I need people to understand this. That phone trick don't work for everybody. Stick to your lane.
Yeah.
That works for
Thank
me.
you.
That works
That
for
don't work
Malcolm.
for everybody.
That may not
That
work
don't
for
work for
you.
everybody.
You might need to have that conversation on the side. You might gotta have that conversation. I don't gotta do that. I done paid my dues in these motherfucking streets. I ain't gotta do that shit.
My thing is, I'm not handing my phone because I would much rather you.
I gotta go.
I would much rather you hand me your phone because you have control.
But I do that too.
That's fine.
You know, I slide that phone.
I would just much rather you hand me your phone.
Cause all night something finna be sliding. So it don't even matter.
I ain't worried about that. If it wasn't meant to be, they meant to be. This next. Like Gucci Mane said.
No, I'm talking about the pictures.
I'm not handing no phone over. That's it. Like, I'm not handing you my phone. I want to have a full conversation. Like,
Oh shit, well you going there for a
Yeah,
motherfucking
God,
dick.
damn.
That's that.
you my phone.
You want a conversation for
But I
what?
got options.
We can have conversations.
Everybody go.
Taylor, what you be trying to figure out? People credit score? Like, girl,
We really don't need to talk. We really don't need to
I
talk.
don't need to say shit. I just need to know where I need to be.
Where do you be at what time?
That's it, because I'm leaving when I'm done. I'm not taking no nap. I'm not sleeping
Homecoming
over. I'm not doing nothing. I got some
about, you got about 3-4 days of homecoming, so that means that you have.
So we need to move quick.
You have a few options.
Hey, ain't nobody trying to have no goddamn family and shit.
I'm getting down
We
on
need to move
Wednesday. So what if my nigga on Wednesday, not the nigga I meet on Friday? I need to.
Well, fuck
And
him
that's
too.
cool. Fuck him too.
That's your damn problem. I'm telling you to fuck him too. So go on goddamn rampage.
We need to move quick and expeditiously.
Wow.
Right.
And I'm gonna give you my,
Why?
I'm gonna
Because we got- we got to-
every one performance.
Every time.
I ain't gonna guarantee I'm gonna see you the next time.
Cause I done sit there, Hennessy, and I got that Henny in me.
And you
So
done,
we-
and you done licked on that neck.
I did so
No,
good.
let me tell y'all something. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm gonna watch it for Malcolm.
Malcolm, no,
What? I gotta see if he gonna let
Malcolm,
me do
Jim.
that.
Yo, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look you dead in the eyes when I do it. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look at her.
I'm gonna look for it. Tell you, I'll be like,
He did it.
we got one.
He did it. She caught.
But no, honestly, I do.
She caught.
I think the number one rule for homecoming overall is to just make sure you have the fun that you want it to have.
You have
For sure.
to-
Cause you're not spending the money.
If you wanted to go down there and be a whole,
Ho.
Be a hoe.
Be a hoe.
That's
if you
real.
want to go down there and link up with people that you ain't never seen, I mean that you haven't seen in a long time, do
That's
that.
real.
If
That's
you want to
real.
go down there because you like my homegirls, they haven't been since they graduated, so I already know they gonna be looking at me like, Jenna, what we gonna do? Like, what we gonna do? I already got this shit planned out for 'em.
Yeah.
All right. Cause we gonna work it and twerk it.
They for the streets, cause we out.
This will be my first year going to homecoming without a potential roster.
And that's fine because you gonna build that roster.
See, my roster is the world. See, we just go and we show up.
Boy, shut
You
your
know,
ass
And
up.
wait. Oh, go ahead. I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna close it out.
Okay, because I was just gonna say, like, look, usually I'll be like, yeah, so and so going to homecoming, you know, we gonna twinkle, twinkle, wink, wink at
You know
the
what? I got
tailgate.
one more rule.
See you at the day party and
What's the rule?
But
I got
what
one
is it?
Come on,
I'm going
Joe.
in free this year. I'm going in free.
Don't
Me too.
take
I'm
y'all.
going in free.
Listen,
Free as a bird.
if you have not been, if you actually, because you know niggas get these sections, and they
Oh.
niggas get these sections, Malcolm specifically,
What?
and they like to act like they the biggest niggas on campus. So don't act.
How many niggas in your
The
section?
best
Malcolm?
rule to
And
do.
my
How many niggas
Wait,
in
hold on,
your
she gotta get the rules,
section?
the
The
rules.
best rule to do is, ladies, if you actually get invited into a section, make your goddamn cup and dip on their ass. Simple as fuck. Make a cup of alcohol. You damn right because
Why you gotta give me the favor? I didn't even say nothing.
Do your rounds
They
and
get
get the fuck out.
real cocky and confident because they
This bitch
That's you wanna know why they get real cocky? That cause bitches get to pour in multiple cups. You ain't paying shit. And I know
I'm
you.
generous.
And I know you gonna jump to another nigga section. So you gonna go over and get 3 cups, get 2 cups from me. Now you gonna go get you
What's the
fucking
problem?
nigga?
What's the problem?
You jumping the
What's the problem? What's the problem?
She is paid for it, hon. So what is the problem?
But not by the bitch that's drinking it.
But what you mean?
Your fault, nigga.
All you gotta do is
Nobody
drink from that
this is-
bottle.
Listen, it's free wine. I see it's free wine.
Thank
Also,
you.
don't
Thank
go.
you.
Oh, but you know what though? All bullshit aside, don't go into a section expecting just expecting
Cause a nigga
what?
point in your homegirl mouth and say, and then get to you
Yeah,
and be
I
like,
just
oh,
Don't bring your
Just
extra
don't-
friends into these niggas section, cause
Cause
these
niggas
will
don't
talk
mind,
about
bro.
you.
It's 2019. Niggas do not mind telling the ugly bitch to walk away.
And that's how you
And
know
like-
you ugly bitch.
And nigga, bro, I done seen it done so many times lately.
What?
Niggas will tell you, hey, she can't sit in here.
Can't relate.
I seen it. I seen
Can't
it.
relate.
Suicide. You just killed yourself.
Make
when
sure
walk
you
around.
have your makeup blocks, cause when your bitches be looking sweaty and shit up under the eye, don't do that.
Speaking of, hold on,
No.
please.
No, not
Do not hug me. Do not hug me. And put your damn face on my damn shirt.
Wait,
You
so,
know-
so how you gonna lick somebody's neck without they?
It's a Malcolm.
Turn
show us on the
your
cut.
head.
Show us on the cut, Malcolm. How you gonna lick a neck without them taking
You got wait, no, fuck that. Don't you lick my damn cup? Shit.
Another thing for y'all hoes with these wigs,
No, I want.
Secure, please.
make sure that them braids don't hit up top right here, because I've noticed that y'all don't get y'all shit braided.
Tell
Like,
them to have the right
so make sure
foundation on that.
make sure it's
fucking screen
situated properly, and that the porch screens, as Antonio called it, is you gotta pluck them a little bit. But other than
They're
that,
my
y'all have
porch
fun.
screens. And the final rule.
And niggas, please make sure y'all haircuts.
And the final rule for homecoming is
From
make
us.
sure from us.
from us, because everybody got their own rules.
Everybody has their own rules. Make sure you don't leave Tallahassee with something that you didn't have when you got there.
Whether it be a baby,
A baby.
STD.
Can niggas forget that Tallahassee's a burning fucking city?
a girlfriend, a
It's
boyfriend.
it's a burning city. That city on fire. And I'm
Give
talking about
everybody back to
degrees
their
and I'm talking about them
homecoming.
STDs. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid.
So,
And
But
if
you know what, I'm
abortion's still legal right now.
Okay, and
Take
that's,
care of it.
that's where we're gonna cut the tape. That's where we're gonna cut the tape.
Just make sure, guys, y'all take care of it.
wrap it up.
So
If some steps y'all need to get pushed down.
safety is the priority.
Have condoms.
Have condoms, please.
Thank you.
So that
I didn't say nothing.
nigga.
What?
Nah.
Bro, listen.
Malcolm and I over here like,
Nigga said,
Because Malcolm trying to think how many. Malcolm, do you have?
Nah.
Do you have? Are you see?
No.
I'm straight. Listen,
y'all don't see Malcolm on the next episode scratching his shit. You know why? Because when he came out from Tallahassee, he didn't want to wrap it up.
we gonna be like, episode filming from Malcolm's baby shower.
Whoa.
With a Burberry shirt. But nah, y'all.
I don't think Malcolm that bad.
But nah, y'all. We thank y'all for tuning into the first episode of Crown Conversations and Link Up.
This was so fun, y'all.
I'll let you
Have a
guys
happy
know that this have a happy homecoming. We do this once a month. It's not every week like our podcast. It's just once a month. So we definitely, be looking forward to talking.
Send us your homecoming rules. Send us all
Yeah.
of your homecoming rules.
Send
Tag
You
us.
know who got the best one? You know who has the best one?
Woo.
Woo! Shout out
My
to Woo!
brother,
What's
my
up,
nigga,
Woo?
damn brother,
Hey,
my brother.
shout
Woo.
out to Woo for
Woo.
real, but send us y'all
Thank
homecoming
God.
rules because we ain't even.
Thank God.
Dot God.
We didn't even touch base on the
We
rules.
didn't even go through the homecoming rules for real. These were just the play ones. Tune into our episode.
Wait, I thought this was a real one.
No, they real.
These
They
real,
real.
but like
Oh,
these
these
not.
real. Don't violate these.
Okay.
Especially my last one.
Don't violate that one for
Violate
sure.
that
Come
one.
back
For sure.
with chlamydia, yeah.
Come back
Yes.
come back with a blister the size of a grapefruit.
Get your Z-packs in advance.
But nah, y'all, we thank y'all for tuning in.
For sure.
Keep it locked with us. You can find us on Crown Conversations Podcast on Instagram, Crown Combos Pod on Twitter. Stay tuned in for us because we got some major shit coming.
And y'all don't judge me because I got this oversized hoodie on.
Bye, y'all.
Peace,
Bye,
guys.
y'all.